Hey everybody, Speedy at 44. So the Redskins are finally going to change their name. NFL team, Washington Redskins, have decided to retire the Redskin name after years and years of various entities, people basically saying, yo, this is offensive to Native American people, and we would like to see it change. And the owner came out a couple years back, said that's never going to happen, stood on stood his ground. I know a lot of fans are unhappy, fans of the team. They don't like the change. They don't like the idea, the name change. They're focused on just saying basically, yo, this is our team. This is the team we've always rooted for. Hail the Redskins. It's a lot. HTTR. Like, I've known some Redskins fans. I've been, I ain't going to say to a Redskins game. That's not true. But I've been in that area. My uncle went to church right next door to FedEx Field. I was able to kind of eat where some of the people go to eat after the game. It was a nice place where they sold these really nice, sweet rolls. The rolls were amazing in that little restaurant buffet place. So it's a nice, you know, it's a rich in its culture, um, and it's ironic because I was actually in town right after Sean Taylor passed away, maybe 3 weeks after he died, and the church that we went to had a big, huge banner where a bunch of people had signed it. I'm assuming it was a bunch of the teammates and people like that. They had signed it, and it was just the air was sucked out of that place. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell without really knowing too much that they had lost somebody just by the tone of everything that was going on that weekend. It was a big deal. So with that being said, I'm not a Redskins fan, but I have a lot of good good vibes about Redskins and Redskins fans and all of that based on those experiences in my life. But I've always felt that the team name could use a change. I always thought that it was fair to say that it was offensive to some people, but they're not the only ones. There are some other team names that reference skin color, I guess you can say, or heritage of disenfranchised people. So it's good to see somebody step up and change the name. I remember when the Washington Bullets changed their name because Washington at the time was one of the most heavily gun violent cities at the time. It just didn't seem appropriate to keep the name as the Bullets. I remember that. So it's like, changes are good. Obviously, I've seen Seattle Supersonics in the NBA have been just wiped from the face of the earth, just like the Vancouver Grizzlies were moved to Memphis. I mean, we've seen a lot of changes in sports, so this is just one more. I would encourage all the fans to just chill out. You still have a football team. The team is staying in Washington. They probably even keep the same colors. Um, I hear that they may even keep the word red in there. Red Tails is a name that I've heard, which I support quite a bit because I love what it stands for. African Americans who had fought aviating, um, fighter pilots. We want to kind of support them and memorialize them with this name, which I think is a positive thing. So that's one direction they can go. I heard Red Wolves is another name that they were using. I don't know what significance it holds, but it's an option. So, I'm sure there's some others that I haven't heard of yet. But the point is, they've committed to changing the name, though they don't have that name yet. And I think it's a good thing. I think it's a step in the right direction in terms of making peace um, with some really tough history, and bringing an end to some mockery that's being made of Native American people and their skin color. And even though it's been going on for a long time, even though it's something that we have a lot of history with, it doesn't mean that going forward we should accept that. Our forefathers may have had it wrong. That's where we're at. A lot of the stuff that we look at, the Aunt Jemimas, the Uncle Bens, I don't personally think it's necessary to remove those statements, but if those who put it on there are ready to remove it, I certainly support that for what it's worth. So, yeah, the Redskins is another one. The Cleveland Indians is a name I'd like to see changed for every reason necessary. I mean, let's just be honest. They were never Indians to begin with. They were indigenous people, native to this land. Christopher Columbus decided that he had landed on India because he was headed to India and got lost and found this place. So rather than say, yeah, I'm lost, let's try to get back on track, this fucking moron decided that he was going to call the place that he landed on India, because dare he'd be wrong, right? It's probably some better land anyway. Shit, let's call this India. He didn't even have the decency to put New India on it. We're in India. But no, we're not going to call it India. We're going to call it America. The unmitigated gall of white supremacy over the years is just it's never ending in their ridiculousness. But I think this is a step in the right direction. I really do. It's a step in the right direction. I think saying you got it wrong for a long time and we're ready to make it right is not a bad thing. So make it right. Make it right. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Cleveland Indians logo. I forget what the name of it is. I'm sure some baseball fan knows. But the face that they use, Cleveland Indians. I saw something, and I don't know if it's legitimate, but I believe it is that the face that they use for the Cleveland Indians logo was originally a face that they used for the Birmingham Niggers baseball team. I don't know if this was a Negro League team or not. Not certain. I don't know if this was an actual team or not. Could have been satire. But this is what I saw. So I figured I'd let y'all know. You do your own homework. Tell me if it's a real team. But yeah, exact same face. They just had a little mini afro on his head as opposed to the wrap and the feather. Same exact face. Brown skin instead of red. It looked real. It looked real. It looked legitimate. Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham Niggers. ERS. For what it's worth, I think they realized that that wasn't going to work. I don't know if it was the same team. I don't know. Like I said, it could be satire. I can speculate all day long, but at the end of the day, you guys look it up. Tell me what you think. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say, man. Let's change some of these names. Some of them that reference Native American heritage, I don't know how people feel about that. Like the Black Hawks hockey team. Maybe they're okay with that. Maybe that's not a thing. I don't know. There's a few others too that I can't seem to get in my mind right now. The Seminoles, like that. I don't know if that's okay or not. I don't assume. But there are a lot of references to Native Americans, culture, Native American heritage in some of these team names and college representatives. How do you call them? The college logos or what have you. And I think it's wise to just take a look. You know, take a look. See, get a feel for it. Poll some people, as I'm sure they've already been doing. Find out how the indigenous people feel about their heritage, and then some of these representative logos. You know, see what they think. And if they're not cool with it, maybe we should revisit changing a few more of these names. I don't see anything wrong with that. And being progressive, I think, is a step in the right direction in terms of trying to evolve as a community and as a country and as a world. When you try to open up the door to see if you can be more tolerant of others, you leave room to have more support. And I'm ultimately about that. I think that the more support we have, the more people we have on the same page, the quicker we can get things done. We don't have to wait 100 years to see the type of changes that may be necessary come tomorrow if we are more so on one accord and not making fun of one another left and right. So for whatever it's worth, I hope that we get on that path soon. My name is BDF44. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.